Welcome to Moscow and the Vina Usmanova Stadium, the location for the 2021 IFSC World Championships. And this stadium, well, it's got some history. Originally built for a very famous Russian gymnastic coach, now it's used for a multiple of sports. Let me show you inside. The stadium is beautifully decorated with mosaics on the floor and walls and colours everywhere. But where's the climbing, I hear you ask? Well, don't panic, because that is just through these doors. This is it, the main stadium. Speed, boulder and lead walls are in here, and over the next couple of days some of the best athletes in the world will be competing for that gold medal. This is the isolation area, and it's very special because it's only for the athletes. If you were watching this in the stadium, you wouldn't be allowed in here. Now there's a bouldering wall behind me, and it's pretty chilled out right now because it's the speed qualification going on in the main stadium. But by tomorrow or the next day, this place is going to be absolutely packed. This is the final waiting area for the athletes, and you can feel the tension and pressure in this room. In a couple of seconds, they'll be walking out into the main stadium, and let me show you that journey. They'll come up these steps, stand in front of the curtain, and have a couple of seconds to compose themselves, take some deep breaths, before finally, when they're called, through this curtain and out onto the main stage. This is where they'll be competing. The crowds behind me, the coaches down in that holding area, and of course the walls here ready and waiting. It's going to be an amazing competition. Make sure you guys check out all the action. Welcome to Moscow for the start of the IFSC World Championships. This is always a special event filled with drama, so let's kick things off in the fastest way possible with the speed finals. It was action-packed as 16 qualifiers raced for the medals. In the women's comp and the small finals, the bronze was between Alexandra Miroslav and Ekaterina Barashuk. Alexandra was behind coming into the second half of the wall, but was pulling it back when a hesitation from Ekaterina opened the door for a bronze for Alexandra. In the women's finals, it was Yulia Caplina versus Natalia Kaluchka. Yulia might have been the favourite, but a big slip in the middle and Natalia Kaluchka was through to win her first senior medal, and a gold one at that. Let's see that moment again in this special replay. You can see where Yulia slipped and the relentless pace of Natalia to take that victory.
I can't believe it because this year was very bad for me, and this is my first medal in my life. I can't believe it.
For the men, we saw action all the way through, and the finals and small finals was equally dramatic. It was Noah Bracci who won the bronze, taking advantage of a slip from Guillermo Moro, who had to settle for fourth place. The slightest mistakes proving to be the deciding factor. The race for silver and gold was a high-octane affair. Eric Neuer versus Daniil Boldyrev, and what a fight it was, with both athletes pushing themselves right until the very end. It was Daniil who took victory. Let's watch another one of those replays and you can see just how close it was between the two of them. Almost neck and neck until Daniil found something in that final sector to boost up for gold.
You know how I can feel in a two-times world champion, you know. Of course, you know, it's great feelings, you know, because it's hard job, mental job. It's another philosophy of training process. It's not just speed and clean. It's also high philosophy, you know. I appreciate and respect every athlete. Every athlete today is fighter, also in qualification, you know. Speed climbing, it's sometimes surprise, but you know, I respect everyone. But I want to say that today I'm boss of this mental game, you know.
What a night it was, and our first set of world champions are crowned. What a great finals. And you may have noticed some new graphics and innovations during that speed finals, because we're trying to constantly improve the experience for you watching at home. And speed is one of those events which you can bring all these new technical solutions to the live stream. So let's catch up with one company who are trying to do that for us.
I am Denis Garnier. I am the founder of Luxoff, a French company developing digital solutions for climbing. I think we need to improve sports presentation. We have public which is less and less aware of climbing because it's going international, and with Olympics it changed a lot. So we need to explain all what's happening on walls. So here we have three propositions. One is about touch holes. So we have brand new red holes that can detect the climber on the wall here, and we have 5 of them. And they are linked to LED bars, which show the climber who is ahead or behind. So if the LED bar lights up in green, the climber is ahead, and if the LED bar lights up in red, the climber is behind. The second one is about speed tracking. We have a camera in front of the wall. On real time, we take the images of the race, of the runs, and here we digitalize exactly the track of the climber, so it gives comparison with the opponent climber. And the third proposition is about 3D model. So we are proud here to deliver a system that shows on the TV, particularly, what is speed, how is the wall, what are the distances, inclination, and all the technical characteristics of the wall.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes at any competition, and the route setters are some of the hardest working people in the building. What they create can make or break a competition. So let's chat to one of the route setting team and find out the logistical nightmare that goes on for putting these onto the wall.
We arrived on the 10th of September. So started working on the 11th in qualification, and we've been working on this wall for semis and finals for 2 days.
Yeah, it's hard and long, but it's also interesting and a lot of fun to set for this kind of level, this kind of comps.
Teamwork is everything, basically. We have a big team, it's 8 route setters. I told the team when we started, really teamwork and working together, cooperation is basically the most important thing for me, and so far it's been going great. It's always interesting and it's always new. I've never worked with these setters, and a lot of them haven't worked with each other. So a lot of the game and creativity is just how do we communicate with each other, how do we understand what we're trying to do, and that part's fun and always a cool challenge too.
No, we didn't have any instruction about the style. Usually we try to make routes who you can climb, you're not falling since the beginning. It's tricky, but usually climbers will go through this.
My expectation is that we will try our best and we'll see what the climbers do. That's really all. So the route setting game, I think, is really hard. We try every time to do something fresh and new and give a good show for the spectators, but also have really serious climbing. And if I have any expectation, yeah, it's that there will be a lot of climbing and we'll see what the climbers do. That's about it.
Welcome to the CSK Arena here in Moscow, and it's time for the qualifying rounds for the men and women for the bouldering competition. Now, just under 200 athletes have registered. There's 5 boulders in each set and 2 groups of boulders. So as you can see, there's a ton of climbing ahead of us today. Now, we pulled 2 of our athletes out to have a little chat with us, Hannah Moyle from Germany and Gregor Vazonik from Team Slovenia.
The event is pretty special because we had a pretty intense year, and we had the Olympics and a lot of World Cups, and now that's a pretty nice end of the season. Yeah, I can't wait to fight.
I think, like for most people, the World Championships medal means just a tiny bit more than the World Cups, and then above that is the Olympic medal. I think it comes, with the turnaround with the events. World Cups, you get like 7 chances or 6 chances per year. With the World Championships, you get 1 chance per 2 years, and then the Olympics, you get 1 chance per 4 years. So the longer you have to wait, the better it feels, I guess.
My preparation for the competition was a bit more of lead climbing this year, because I tried to focus a bit more on that too, because the next years will be more like boulder and lead combined, and I actually used to be more like a boulderer, and but I started to love lead climbing. But I try to give my best in both competitions.
That was a hard qualifying round for all of the athletes. Now, behind me is the finals bouldering wall, so without further ado, let's catch up on all the highlights from the men and women's finals. It doesn't come much bigger than a World Championship final. It was time for the women to compete in the bouldering round, and in Moscow we witnessed a final that will be remembered for years. It was a final that saw the top 3 places flip around as multiple tops occurred. Brooke Rabatou climbed the first 2 problems before missing out on the top and the zone on boulder 3. She recovered with a zone on the final boulder but had to settle for 5th place. Elena Krasovskaya, in front of her home crowd, went from strength to strength after missing out on boulder 1. She finished just outside the podium in 4th, but with some crazy beater along the way. Stasha Geho had a roller coaster ride of a finals. Getting zones on 1 and 3, she found a powerful method on women's 2 and left nothing behind on the final climb, sending it in just 2 tries. She had a nervous wait to see if she would receive a medal, and when she did, well, justification for all her hard work. Camila Moroni has never made a senior finals before, but it was her night in Moscow. We got to witness the emotion and passion of an athlete climbing out of her skin. She topped the first 3 climbs and moved into 1st after climbing the 4th boulder 2nd go. She was guaranteed a medal, but which colour would it be? There was something special about Natalya Grossman tonight. She was in outstanding form during the semi-finals, and flashes of boulders 1 and 2 put her in a great position. Boulder 3 took her slightly longer, but still only 4 attempts, on the slab that could spit you off at any moment. She needed to top Boulder 4 for the win, and was it ever really in doubt? She flashed the spectacular final climb, spinning to face the crowd on the dyno. A gold medal and world championship status for her, and an incredible first senior medal and a silver at that for Camilla Moroni. So, the end of the women's finals, but there's more action to come from Moscow. Sometimes a final is defined by a single move, or a problematic boulder, a heartbreaking fall, or a euphoric top-out. Tonight, it was defined by one man's dominant performance. Welcome to Moscow for the World Championships and the men's bouldering final. 6 athletes were battling it out for a podium place. Marcus Nimrod had peaked at just the right time in his training and came in 5th. Andrzej Parak battled thin skin for 6th. The crowd got behind Alexei Rubstop, and his passionate performance left him in 4th. Manu Cornu has an incredible highlight reel, and he was having a great comp in Moscow. He flashed Boulder 2 with style, made the zone on the slab and came so close to the top. He needed a strong performance on the last climb, and he delivered with a flash. Bronze medal for him, and it's great to see him back in action. Tomoa Narasaki certainly had his eye on a medal here in Moscow. He topped all of the boulders apart from the first, quickly figuring out the beater on the slab, which had a last move that shut down many of the others. He was in contention for the win after flashing Boulder 4, but had to settle for the silver after his teammates, well, Kokoro Fuji found something truly special under the Moscow lights. No other athlete could figure out the complicated sequence through the first boulder, but he cruised it. It looked like he was climbing in slow motion, powering through in complete control. That climb set the tone. We got to witness a masterclass as he sent all 4 boulders, only needing a zone to secure victory on the last climb, but sending it anyway. As the crowd roared their delight, Kokoro Fuji became the new men's bouldering world champion. Another comp done, more medals awarded, and another finals in the record books.
I can't believe it. So, it is dream, in the dream.
Right, so we know who our bouldering world champions are, and now it's time for the athletes to tie on and get involved with the lead wall. We're seeing more and more new faces come into our sport, but this year especially we've seen a return of some legends. Athletes who have been away and now they're back. And they're not here for fun either, they're making semi-finals and finals. So let's catch up with a few of them and find out why they've returned. It seems like IFSC athletes are getting younger and younger as more new faces come into our sport. But this year especially, we've seen a return of some legends. Athletes who used to compete had a break and are now back. And they're not just here for fun either, they're making semi-finals and finals. So let's catch up with a few of them and find out why they've returned. I'm here with Hyun Bin Min. Hyun Bin, it is so good to see you back. How are you enjoying competing again?
It's so interesting for me. I became here for my goal. My last international competing in 3 years ago, but still very nervous and my heart beat so hard actually, but so fun. Yeah.
And for you, do you want to win competitions still, or are you here for the fun of it?
Yeah, I want. Yeah, that's my goal. That's why I'm here. So, yeah.
Well, look, I can't wait to see you hopefully in finals again soon, and best of luck with the rest of the competition here in Moscow.
Yeah, I do my best. Thanks.
I'm here with Dinara, who's just finished her route. Dinara, you've had a break from competition climbing. Why did you stop in the first place?
I had an injury, and after I had a problem with my mind, with my soul. I was so sad about that I couldn't do what I can, and that's why I just gone. I just need to take a rest, and that's all.
So you had some time off, but now you're back, you're competing again. Why have you decided to come back to the IFSC?
It was really hard for me because I was not sure if it's okay for me because I'm 28 and it's quite nervous about this girl who is young and strong, and I feel my power inside and I feel like I can do something more than before. And I feel I'm 16 right now. Yeah, like it's my first time. I don't remember what I did before, no? It's like, yeah, I can say I'm just starting.
Awesome. Well, I know people are very excited to have you back. For me, it's amazing to watch you on the wall again. Best of luck with the rest of the competition in Moscow and hopefully next year.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'm so happy to, yeah, thanks.
I'm here with Jorg Verhoeven. Jorg, you're back. You're in the IFSC building again, and it's so cool to see you climbing.
Thank you very much, Matt. I'm not sure if I'm really back, but I'm trying. Doing my best.
Jorg was part of the IFSC route setting team in Innsbruck, and clearly putting up all those world-class standard routes, well, it made him excited to compete again.
I tested the routes, and I was actually quite frustrated that I couldn't climb. And I was watching the streams, and I just felt like being there, so here I am.
Well, Jorg, it's amazing to have you back. I know people at home are excited. Best of luck with Moscow.
Thanks. Good to have you, Matt.
So our athletes have been whittled down during the qualifying and semi-final rounds, and now 8 athletes are going to be on stage competing for a podium place and that coveted gold medal. After a week of climbing and a season of comps, everything came to an end in a magical night in Moscow. The men and women's lead finals was a spectacular show of powerful moves, dynos and micro holds. The men were out first, and it was an action-packed beginning, with Yoshiyuki Ogata and Tomoe Narasaki speeding up the wall and setting early high points. Tomoe Narasaki is about 2 moves off the top here. Up he goes. I think he wanted to readjust. Thought about going down. Stefano Gisolfi had a slip lower than he would have liked, while Sebastian Helenke found an outrageous no-hands rest at the top of the wall. He's going up the left hand first. Martin Stranick, well, he's gone from strength to strength, and 4th place was a testament to his hard work. Hamish MacArthur climbed last, and topping the route would have meant victory for him. He came, oh, so close, tickling the final hold. He might have been disappointed in that moment, but he'll look back and realise that a bronze medal in his first senior finals, and a World Championship one at that, is something to be proud of. Luka Potteger has been improving and building on his form throughout the season. He peaked at the perfect moment, with technical moves and power throughout. He leapt for the top, latched the hold, almost slipped but caught it, and we saw our first top for the men. What a silver medal for him.
What a moment for that young man.
Fresh from the Olympics and a bronze medal, Jakub Schubert wanted to go better in Moscow. Despite a scare down low on the dyno, Jakub battled through. Breathing hard on the final section, he worked his way closer.
Maybe not just the last seconds, I really had to fight hard in this route. I didn't like the style of the really technical part in the slab, but this time it actually almost saved me because I felt like I didn't climb so well, didn't feel as good of in the flow as like in semis, for example, so I felt already really tired entering the slab and somehow recovered. Obviously I knew there was a top already, so I knew I had to give everything, reach that top hold, and yeah, somehow I still don't know how, but I reached it.
He topped with an explosive jump, and the gold medal was his, and he was a world champion once again. The women's route was technical throughout, with complex moves and sequences. Salome Roman took a fall halfway through a powerful performance. Dinara Fakhritinova had huge support from her home crowd, but fell on the high crux. Natsuki Tani showed off with a stunning one-handed dyno catch, while Brooke Rabatu fought hard and set the high point that Jessica Pilt then beat for fourth. The first two podium places were decided by time. Laura Rogra came out determined and speedy. She powered through the bottom half before that side pull high crux showed its teeth. Once, twice, 3 times she tried the move before finally latching it, but falling soon after. Natalya Grossman made effortless moves. She's been on the podium so many times this year and once again showed her class. After a strong performance, she finally fell on the same hold as Laura, and time was used to split the pair. Although Laura had climbed quickly, it wasn't as fast as Natalia. Bronze for Laura and silver for Natalya Grossman. Our last athlete out on stage for the season was Cheon So. Composed as always, she found something special in Moscow. At no point did she look like she might fall, and it was simply a masterclass of climbing. The cruxes weren't cruxes. The dynos flights through the air. Cheon So was the only woman to top the route and was crowned world champion.
This is my first World Championship medal, so it's really impressive for me.
So, our time in Moscow draws to a close, and what memories we have to look back on. So that's it. Our athletes have their medals and the world champions have been crowned. I hope you guys enjoyed the experience. And of course, we'll be back very soon bringing you more IFSC competition climbing action.